Hello everyone, tonight we bring you a chilling tale like no other. A story that will drag you into the abyss of fear and make you question what truly rides the tracks when the clock strikes midnight. This is the terrifying account of the midnight ghost train packed with zombies and coffins, a journey into the unknown that no living soul should ever dare to take. Imagine a desolate railway line cutting across barren fields, fog slithering over the iron rails like pale fingers, and the faint echo of a whistle in the dead of night when no train is scheduled to pass. Locals speak in hushed tones about this train, swearing it appears only to the lost, the desperate, and the cursed. They say it isn't bound to any schedule of man, but to the tolling of midnight itself, and when it screeches into view, its windows glow with the pale green shimmer of decay, and its cars are filled not with passengers, but with rotting corpses, twitching zombies, and coffins stacked like cargo. Our story begins with a man named Daniel, a weary traveler returning from a long day's work, who missed his last regular train and found himself stranded at an abandoned platform. The wind howled, the old station clock clicked toward midnight, and that's when he heard it. The whistle, low, long, and mournful. The rails began to hum, the fog thickened, and out of the darkness emerged a monstrous locomotive, blackened with soot, its lantern eyes burning like hellfire. The doors screeched open, and against all instinct, Daniel stepped inside, thinking salvation had come, but he would soon learn he had entered the train of the dead. Inside, the air was suffocating, thick with the stench of rot. Rows of coffins lined the seats, nailed shut yet trembling from within as if something scratched and writhed inside. In the aisles sat figures slumped in decayed uniforms, their eyes hollow, their jaws slack, their fingers twitching against the metal armrests. They were zombies, passengers long dead, still shackled to their seats in eternal torment. Daniel clutched the pole, his heartbeat thundering in his ears as the train jolted forward. The windows flashed with strange sight. Graveyards rushing past endless fields of bones, tunnels made of skulls instead of stone. He tried to step back toward the exit, but the door had vanished, replaced by a sealed wall of rusted steel. He was trapped. A ghastly voice echoed over the intercom, not the calm announcements of a conductor, but a guttural whisper that said, "Next stop, the graveyard of souls." Daniel froze, his breath caught in his throat. One of the coffins creaked open. A pale hand shot out, rotted flesh dangling from its fingers, and a corpse slowly rose, its empty eyes staring directly at him. The train was alive, feeding on fear, carrying the undead, and he was now part of its cursed passengers. The train thundered faster, shaking violently, its lights flickering between this world and the next. Daniel stumbled into another car, only to find it worse. Rows of coffins nailed to the ceiling, swaying like pendulums, dripping black liquid onto the floor. Each coffin whispered his name in unison, as though the dead knew him, had been waiting for him. Zombies began to stir, their bones cracking as they rose from their seats, turning their heads slowly toward him. Their eyes glowed green, their jaws unhinged, and a chorus of groans filled the air, rising to a deafening symphony of hunger. Daniel ran, slipping on the ooze, shoving past skeletal hands that clawed from the coffins. He burst into another car, this one darker, filled with smoke and dim lanterns. At its center sat a conductor, but not a man. This conductor was a skeletal figure draped in tattered robes, its skull grinning, its bony hand clutching a lantern that burned with ghostly fire. "Ticket," the conductor hissed, raising its hand. Daniel stammered that he had none, and the conductor leaned forward, its skull inches from his face, whispering, "Then you will pay with your soul." The zombies pressed closer, the coffins cracked open fully, and the smell of death choked the air. Daniel's scream was swallowed by the screech of the train, and the next moment he was gone. His seat now occupied by another slumped corpse, his eyes lifeless, his face frozen in silent horror. The midnight ghost train thundered on, never stopping, forever collecting the souls of those unlucky enough to cross its path. Some say Daniel's body was found the next morning, not at the station, but inside a coffin buried deep in the town's graveyard, his fingernails broken from clawing at the inside of the lid. Others say his ghost can still be seen, staring out the window of the phantom train as it roars past in the fog. And if you ever find yourself alone at midnight, near an abandoned track, and you hear the faint whistle of a train that shouldn't exist, run. Run and never look back, for if you step aboard, you will never return. But our story doesn't end there, for the midnight ghost train has many victims, each with their own tale of terror. There was a young woman named Eliza who boarded after a party, drunk and laughing, thinking the strange glowing train was just a late night ride. She was never seen again, but her laughter still echoes from its windows, twisted into a cackle of madness. There was an old soldier who swore he fought in wars, yet was lured by the train's whistle. His ghost now marches in its aisles, forever bound to relive battles against creatures of the grave. Some say even children have been taken, their dolls left behind on the tracks, their cries now joining the unholy chorus within. The train does not discriminate. It hungers endlessly. The truth is this: the midnight ghost train is not a machine but a living curse, a vessel of the damned powered by souls. The engine runs not on coal but on despair, the wheels grind not on rails but on bones, and its whistle is the scream of all those who ever dared to board. It appears only at midnight, cloaked in mist, its arrival a test of fate, and those who see it face a choice: turn away and live, or step inside and never return. So the next time you find yourself near a desolate track, and you hear that long, mournful whistle in the night, remember Daniel, Eliza, and all the others who vanished. Remember the coffins, the zombies, the skeletal conductor. And above all, remember this warning: never ever ride the midnight ghost train. Thank you for watching Shdows Secrit. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more terrifying stories from the shadows.